Greetings from the Mount of Olives. I am sitting here with the Kidron Valley below me and the old city of Jerusalem in the distance here. And coming on this pilgrimage, I thought to myself, I want to research what is believed that took place in this land, this holy land. Why is it called holy? Just so I have a better understanding of where I'm going and what I will be seeing. So I thought I'd share some of that research that I did. This is from a Judeo-Christian perspective, and it's not coming from an expert at all. I'm not an expert in these things. I just did some research, so some of the things that I'm saying could be incorrect. Feel free to research them yourself. This is just from what I've gathered, what I've learned. So I have some notes here that I thought I would share with you. The first thing that one of the things that I found out that I thought was really interesting is that some people believe that the first person ever created, Adam, was created right under that golden dome. I can't see it because the camera has a glare, but you can probably see hopefully that golden dome behind me. And there's a belief that he was created there. We probably won't be able to ever know 100%, but that's a cool thought. And then we know from the biblical narrative that after the creation, Adam and Eve fell from grace. And then we had Noah and the flood, and then the Tower of Babel. And then the people got different languages and spread throughout the entire world. And then God called Abraham to come to this land. And the Bible quote is Genesis 12:1. It says, "Now the Lord said to Abram, go from your country and your kindred and your father's house to the land that I will show you." So this we believe is that land and is filled with many of his descendants. And I think he was called from modern day Iraq to this land, if I'm correct in that understanding. So Abraham would have traveled throughout this land. His son Isaac would have traveled, his son Jacob, Joseph. And again, I think it's a common held belief that, again, that Golden Dome location, which is also called Mount Zion and Mount Moriah, is where Abraham was about to sacrifice his son Isaac, and then God stopped him from doing that. After that, we know that the Israelites ended up in Egypt for many years, and then Moses led them out of Egypt back into this land. Joshua, I think, was the one who ushered them in eventually. Then you had the judges that ruled here, and then the kings. So we think of King David, King Solomon. And King David was the one who I think started the construction of the temple, but his son Solomon ended up finishing it. And again, where the Golden Dome is located, it's a real important spot, is believed to be where the temple was built. And it held the Holy of Holies, which was where God was believed to dwell on earth. And inside the Holy of Holies, I think is believed there were 3 items. The tablets, the stone tablets that the 10 Commandments were written on, and also a jar of manna, which was like bread that came from heaven that fell when the Israelites were in the desert when they came from Egypt. And then the third thing was Aaron's staff that had budded. And I think the story is that God was confirming the Levites as the priesthood for the Israelites. So that a very, very holy place. Unfortunately, it was, excuse me, to flip the next page. It was destroyed, I think, by the Babylonians, and the Israelites went into exile for 70 years. And then I think it was King Cyrus of Persia who allowed them to come back again, and they rebuilt the temple for the second time. I think the first temple was completed in the year like 1000 BC, and then the second rebuilt like maybe 500 BC. So close to the time Christ was born, there was a desecration of the temple, and I think that's when the Maccabean revolt happened. and they claimed the temple back again. Herod the Great built onto the temple, like strengthened it, built a retaining wall on the outside of it and expanded it. Then Christ comes. So Christ was born in Bethlehem, which is like a 2-hour walk from here. He did his ministry all around this area. He suffered on the cross, rose again right here in the city. His holy mother, his apostles, his followers, his disciples, they all lived in this area. The church was started here. The Holy Spirit came down, tongues of fire, and then spread throughout the whole world from this place. In the year 70 AD, the temple was completely destroyed by the Romans, and it was never built again. But there's a piece of the retaining wall that's still left called the Western Wall. So many, many, many holy things happened here. God incarnate walked here. Yeah, I can see why people call this the holiest place on earth and the center of the world.